I always was interested in the behavior of the materials, and you experiment a lot, and the beauty that I find in the images, the meaning of what I'm doing begins to come to the surface.
Art is an expression of the beauty of Christ. You look at Christianity, the architecture of our churches, the stained glass windows, music, representation of the saints. Through art, we can experience our connection to God on a different level. Church is a place where art and artists should thrive. I hope the following piece not only engages you, but inspires you.
I was in Honduras, outside of Copan, which is very famous for the ruins. This site was called Los Sapos, which is a site where they thought that Mayan women would go and give birth there. There was a group of students with their teacher doing excavation and learning how to do it too. Before they started the excavation, they used copal resin. They put it in like incense in a church. They let the smoke sort of clean the area as respect for the people of the area and the people maybe that were under the earth there. So I bought some. It came rolled as a long Tootsie roll, and it was rolled in corn husk, and I brought it with me. And sometime later, I was cooking in my kitchen and I was remembering my mother. So I decided to use some of that ceremony for myself, remembering my mother, and I break a little bit of that copal resin and I lit it up. And I noticed that it made this very thin black smoke. So I took some paper and I put it on top, and I saw that it made some interesting images. Depending on what I did with my paper or how far I went over the smoke, it created different images. It was fascinating. Chile has a very varied landscape. I love the arid landscape. Here is very, very green, and almost all the green is the same color. It's gorgeous, but I am not called to paint it. In the arid landscape, you have grayish greens, bluish greens. When I was a kid, I wasn't aware about nature as I am now, but I grew with it, and I guess it stayed with me as part of who I am. I always thought that leaves were beautiful. They are, for me, the metaphor as the life-death cycle and the map of time. The leaves come and go through the cycle of life in spring, and then they die. So I started incorporating leaves, and it has continued. as I integrate my work with the things that I find in nature, I begin to feel closer to nature. What was this passage in the Bible? I thought I will find quotes in the Bible that will tell us how to take care of nature, so nobody can contradict me. But what I found, and later I understood why it said it that way, but it says God said to man, use it and take dominion of the animals and nature and all this. Use it as you wish. So we did it, but we were very few then and we didn't need to feed so many mouths. So I didn't use that quote. The cathedral atmosphere does something to the work. It's beautiful. I never expected that.
We're graced to have these reminders in our cathedral in the middle of a city to remind us how much we are connected to and indebted to the earth that God has given us and given us responsibility for. Artistic creation helps us to connect with the holy. And Nury Vicens art is a wonderful example of making that connection.
I really hope that they are touched, that it makes them think, what can I do to put at least a grain of sand for me to help the environment?